Psalm 32 is quoted in Romans chapter 4, and it's a beautiful psalm about our position and blessings in Christ. How blessed is he whose transgression is forgiven. This is clearly a messianic psalm pointing to what Christ would do. How blessed is the man to whom the Lord does not impute iniquity. Now, under the law, of course, we know that iniquity was imputed. While I kept silent about my sin, my body wasted away. This is the status of those who are devoted to self-righteousness, believing that their works and their will can save them. And that's what it means when I kept silent about my sin. In other words, when I did not acknowledge it, God said frequently throughout the Old Testament, if only my people would acknowledge their iniquity. But so that's what it means, when I kept silent about my sin. Now I know sometimes we want to try and apply this to today, like, okay, so I'm in some sort of predicament where I just keep on falling and I don't talk about it to the Lord. Secondarily, that may be the case, but this is talking about the mindset that is devoted to works justification versus the mindset that's devoted to justification through Christ. So when I kept silent, my body wasted away. When I kept silent about my sin, my body wasted away through my groaning all the day long. And of course, that's that groaning under the Old Testament law. That's the whole creation of God's people groaning. For day and night, your hand was heavy upon me. And that was the truth. The heavy hand of God was upon Israel. My vitality was drained away as with the fever heat of summer. I acknowledged my sin to you, and my iniquity I did not hide. I said, I will confess my transgression to the Lord, and you did forgive the guilt of my sin. And Romans, again, quotes this. How blessed is the man to whom the Lord does not impute iniquity. Therefore, let everyone who is godly pray to you in a time when you may be found. And so that is an urgent warning. That in the context is salvation. Therefore is referring to what he had just said. Stop hiding it. Stop hiding under self-righteousness, covering yourself with your works. Isaiah 59. Surely in a flood of great waters they shall not reach him. That's interesting. You are my hiding place. You preserve me from trouble. You surround me with songs of deliverance. And that's the hiding place we find through the cross and resurrection and presence of Christ. We find shelter from the storm of wrath, from the storm of judgment. I will instruct and teach you in the way which you should go. I will counsel you with my eye upon you. Do not be as the horse or as the mule, which has no understanding, whose trappings include bit and bridle to hold them in check. Otherwise they will not come near to you. Many are the sorrows of the wicked, but he who trusts in the Lord, loving kindness shall surround him. Be glad in the Lord and rejoice, you righteous ones, and shout for joy, all you who are upright in heart. And that upright in heart simply means a conscience purged by the blood of Christ. Hebrews chapter 9, verse 14. So when he says, many are the sorrows of the wicked, the wicked are those who trust in self-righteousness. But he who trusts in the Lord, loving kindness surrounds him. So not only is it the Lord's loving kindness that surrounds us, but we are loving kind toward others, and we receive loving kindness from God's people. And so God says, I instruct you and I teach you in the way which you should go. That's Christ. I will counsel you with my eye upon you, symbolizing his protection. Do not be as the horse or the mule, which have no understanding, whose trappings include bit and bridle to hold them in check. Really, what he's saying is, do not be like the self-righteous who are under law. Law is what holds them in check. They're bound. So that's Psalm 32. Beautiful psalm. Again, messianic in nature. And I hope you enjoyed.